y'all yet again for coming out. I thank you for being patient with us during the beginning. In advance, I want to apologize because God likes to do something in me. He likes to turn up inside of me when I'm empty. And I've been fasting this whole entire month. I haven't had any food in 3 days because I wanted to enter into an intense fast to make sure you women get exactly what you need. So I'm not up here just to talk to you about some stuff that I read in a book or just to say something that feels good. It's time to bring something different to Detroit and actually give women what they need through God, not through men, not through money, not material items, but actually through God. So I want to apologize because I know that God likes to turn up inside of me. So if you see some veins come out my neck, or if you feel me, you hear me speak a little different, or I get a little loud, just know that the presence of God is moving within Sherelle, and it is not her, but it is God that is up here speaking through me as a willing, empty vessel to give you what you need. You guys can have your seats. If you have your Bibles, I am going to be coming from the book of Ruth today. I kind of went back and forth with God about this tea party because, as many of you guys know, I'm Sherelle that does the Periscope studies without her face showing. I don't like to be seen, so I'm kind of like, God, you got the wrong one. Like, you want me to get up and speak in front of somebody in public? I think maybe you got the wrong Sherelle. And God was like, no, it's your time. It's your time to be that butterfly. You're no longer a caterpillar. Now it's your time to actually get your wings and soar. So when I did the Ruth Periscope study, I went into detail, and I told God, but maybe you got it wrong again, because I went into really detail with the book of Ruth. So what more is it to say? And we know that God likes to reveal different things to us every single time, because as we change seasons, so does what we need from the Word of God. It changes as well. So when God gave me the book of Ruth, I said, okay. And then when he actually gave me what he wanted me to speak about, I was blown away because I said, God, you are so good. And I know for a fact that you ladies need healing. You ladies need something. And I know that because I got sick one day out of nowhere. And then I wake up today and I'm totally fine. So God said, I had to inflict your body with what the women that's coming to your event actually needed. You needed to be healed. You were sick. You needed to be healed. So the women that's coming to this event, they will also need to be healed. And how I said in the beginning, if you have an authentic praise and you open up your heart, don't look at the person next to you. If you want to shout out and praise God, I ask that you do it. If you want to take off your shoes and run in a circle, I ask that you do it. If you want to fall on the floor, I ask that you do it, because what you need from God is in this building. And he's only going to give it to you if you're serious about getting it. So it's time out for trying to sit there and look extra cute and say, no, she's not going to talk about me. No, this is a time to get the deliverance that you need. It is a time to get the healing that you need. It is a time to get the breakthrough that you need. It is the time to break those chains that need to be broken. It is the time to untie the chains and the ropes of the bondage that you are in. It is time to come out of bondage. Oh, it's your time. I'm not saying that just to say it. It's your time. So I want to be coming from the book of Ruth today. The first chapter, I'm going to be coming from the 19th through the 20th verse. So it reads, so the two of them continued on their journey. When they came to Bethlehem, the entire town was excited by their arrival. Is it really Naomi? The woman asked. Don't call me Naomi, she responded. Instead, call me Mara, for the Almighty has made life very bitter for me. Lord God, I just come to you right now, God. I come to you in thanksgiving, God, for such an amazing time, quality time spent amongst the sisters with all of us together, God. God, you know my heart. God, you know that my heart is pure, God. And that I desire for these women to be healed, to be delivered, to be set free from the things that are holding them back, God. God, I ask that as I come to your throne empty, that you just move through me freely, God. I I ask that you give these women the spoken word that they need from you, oh God. God, I ask that you calm our nervousness. I ask that you calm my nerves, Lord God. And I ask that the person that is up here speaking, Lord God, allow it to just simply be you, God. Allow us to humble ourselves upon your throne, oh God. God, I ask that you give me the authority that you have given me to be able to deliver a message unto your people on today, God. God, I bind up any type of demonic attacks right now, God. God, I bind up any type of distractions right now, God. God, I ask that you set these women free from what they are in bondage of right now, God. I'm going to thank you in advance for the things that you are getting ready to do, God. I ask that this word that you have given me, God, that it pierces not only their minds, but it pierces not only their spirits, God, but it pierces their souls and their hearts, oh God. God, I ask that they will run and tell another person what they must also do to be saved, because they will be saved once they leave here. They will know you once they leave here. They will get closer to you once they leave here. God, your name is on the line, and I ask that you show out like you never showed out before, oh God. We love you, God. We praise you. We honor you. We give you all the glory, God. For it is in your son Jesus' name that we pray right now. Amen. So the scripture says, don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara. Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara. Don't call me Naomi, the name that God has given me at birth. Don't call me Naomi, the name that is really my name, but actually call me a different name. Because the Almighty has dealt so bitter with me, I feel like my name needs to be changed. How many of us have gotten to that place where we want a new name? We want a new identity. We don't like the name that we have. We feel like this name that God has given us, it has too much dirt on it. God, I want a do-over. That's what we say. So Naomi is saying the same thing. She says, don't call me Naomi, call me Mara. The title for my message today is Fake ID. How many of us are familiar with fake IDs? Yes. We know that we get a fake ID and that it gets us into some trouble because it has us going places where we have no business even going. We're able to have access to things and people and places that we would normally not have access to if we were to actually go as our authentic self. Fake ID. Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, because of what the Lord has done in my life. I'm bitter, call me Mara. I brought my fake ID with me today. I'm a very visual person. I love visual things. So when God gave me this, I said, God, you're so dope. Like, yes. So I brought my fake ID. I've always had an issue with fitting in. I was always bullied. I was always talked about. I was always like the outcast of the group of friends. And my parents know I would adjust to any environment I was in. I went to school with white people when I was in elementary. I came back home talking white. It made them so mad. My dad's like, you are not white. Why are you talking like that? But I felt like I needed to fit in. I didn't drink, but I hung around people that did drink. And so I started to drink a lot. I didn't smoke, but I started hanging around people that smoked. So I started smoking weed. I wasn't wild, but I started hanging around people that were wild. So I then became wild. I had a fake ID because I wanted to fit in. Because I felt like who I was wasn't enough. I didn't understand that God was actually calling me to be set apart. I tried to actually push myself into environments where I know I had no business going, but it felt good because I felt accepted with my fake ID. So when I started my hair company, I was never really known as anything. So I decided, I said, you know what? I'm going to actually color my hair an exotic color. I'm going to color my hair purple. So that way I'll stand out. I don't have to be with anybody. I'll automatically stand out. So I walked around and I became known as the girl with the purple hair. They didn't even have a name for me. I was just the girl with the purple hair. But I felt so good because I said, oh my goodness, people know me. I'm standing out. I'm the girl with the purple hair. I went to cosmetology school. Everybody started wearing tons and tons of makeup. So what did I do? I started wearing tons and tons of makeup. I'm contouring, I'm highlighting, I'm putting the banana powder, I'm putting the lashes, everything that's connected to makeup, that's what I did. So then I ended up looking like her. She's very beautiful, very pretty, but she's made up. She's not her authentic self. But there's one thing about it. When I started putting on all of that makeup, what I was really trying to do, I had suffered from acne like all my life. So I had very bad acne scars and acne. So that was a way for me to actually cover myself up and feel pretty, because I didn't feel pretty. I said, no man is going to want me if I have all of these dark marks on my face. No man is going to want me if I have all of these bumps. So let me try to cover this stuff up and give myself a fake ID. Maybe then I will be accepted. Maybe then somebody might love me. Maybe then somebody might actually want me. So I did all of that. I started to go to the dermatologist. They're giving me all of these different prescriptions. Nothing is working that I'm putting on the outside. But we know that when we are having things that's coming out, sometimes it's not what's on the outside. Sometimes it's actually some things that's going on in the inside. Yeah. So I had to start changing the way I eat. My acne started clearing up a little bit. I started trying to drink more water and not drink hot. It started clearing up a little bit. But there's one thing about it, that when I got into the presence of God, when I got into my alone season, I said, God, I can't do this thing any longer. I need you. I can't do this anymore. I'm broken. I am tired of my body being used. I am tired of getting drunk. I am tired of going to the club and waking up still feeling empty. God, I need to be in the presence of you. The funny thing happened, something miraculous happened. When I entered into the presence of God, I instantly became this person who didn't need any makeup, who didn't need any lashes, who didn't need any weave, who didn't need any of that. It had a nice natural glow. I didn't need to actually use a highlighter to get a glow anymore. God said, I'm going to make sure that my light shines from inside of you and actually comes out. So that way you will be a walking light-filled vessel for me. But you can only get that when you come into the presence of me. My name began to change. I wasn't the girl with purple hair. I went back to the authentic me. The Sherelle Marie that God knew before I was even created in my mother's womb. That's the type of person that God created when I got to my lowest point in my life and I said, no more. I don't want a fake ID. Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara. I know that you guys will probably not forget this, but it's when Bruce Jenner changed his name to Caitlyn Jenner. He felt like who he was really created to be was not who he knew he was created to be. So he went out, he changed his name, he added some body parts, he changed his gender, he changed his whole identity. If he wasn't in the public eye, he could probably go anywhere that he wanted to and nobody would know that this was once Bruce that was a man that is now named Caitlyn that is a woman. How many of us have gotten to that place? Where we feel like we have to cover everything up. Where we feel like the name that we have, it has so much dirt on it. It's been drugged through the mud. People in the clubs know your name. Your name has been in multiple men's bed. You can't even go back to the church because the people in your church know the things that you've done and you're too ashamed to go with that same exact name. You say, God, I want a do-over. I don't understand how much hell I can take. And let's be honest, we're even going through some hell sitting here at this event. It's still some stuff that's going on inside of you while you're sitting right here. God, don't call me Naomi, call me Mara. But what if I told you that when I had you answering those simple questions, what do I need to change in order for God to send my Boaz? What don't I know about myself? What do I like about myself? I was really setting you up to tap into what your spirit needs. The questions were so simple, but the answers that you guys gave it, that's where the weight came from. So now you have something to run back to God and say, I don't need a new man, God. I don't need the bottles. I don't need the club. I actually need for you to create me over. I need to find myself in you because we have holes within us that we're actually searching the world for to fill us back up. We're saying, I'm not going to wait to have no man find me any longer. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go find my own man. And that's what we do. And then we get to a place where we're with a man that's not even following God like us. And let's be honest, he may not even be following the same God that you're following, but you're okay with it because it feels good. Right? We get to the point where we say, God, you know, maybe if I just go out with my girlfriends and I drink and get drunk every single weekend, maybe I'll forget about what I'm going through, not knowing that once you come down, your problems are still there. Yes. You say, maybe I'll get up in the morning and I'll put on this fake smile that, you know, I can go out into the public eye with, and then that way people will actually think that I'm functioning. They'll think that I'm doing good. And we do that because we fear them asking us that one question, are you okay? Because if they ask, are we okay, then we have to start digging deep down and pulling out some stuff, some childhood hurt, some adulthood hurt, some things from our past relationships, some things from our past friendships. And it's easier to kind of let that stuff just sit down and silently kill us. Because that's what it's doing, it's silently killing you. So it's time out for all of that. Now it's time for you to run to God and say, God, I need for you to do your best work in me. God, I need to be made over. God, I desire to be a new woman. God, I desire to be the type of woman that you created me to be. God, I don't know my purpose. I'm desperate for joy, and I'm fighting every single day to get some peace. So God, I need for 2 Corinthians 5:17 to come up off of those papers and actually be manifested inside of my life. God, I don't need a man. I don't need a new job. Money, I don't need any praise, but God, I need for you to do your best work in me, and I need for you to make me over. God, because if you don't, I fear the things that are going to happen in my life. I fear the places that I'm going to go with this fake ID. God, I need to be made over, and I need for you to do it right now. But we tell God, when you do these things, God, don't give me a new name. See, this name that I have, it has a testimony connected to it. This name that I have, there's some healing that has been made, and within this name, there's some deliverance that happened with this name. When we step out, we don't want them to say, is that? Before they even say, is that, you correct them and say, yes, it is me, and I am a new creation in Christ, and I'm going to sit here and be a witness about the things that God has manifested in my life. So I don't need to pump fake and go from a Bruce to a Caitlin. No, baby, I'm going to have my same exact name because there's a testimony connected to this name. We want the victory, right? We want the victory. But before we get there, we have to get exactly where all of you are right now. Broken. Yes. We have to get low enough to actually want it. We have to get hungry enough to actually want it. And what that does is it forces you into an alone season where God says, I can finally get some alone time with me. We oftentimes get to a place where God is just about to do his very best work in us. We go and we get into another relationship. And God is like, right there, like, I was just about to give you the things that I know that you needed. I was just about to show you your purpose. I was just about to deliver you from some things that you needed to be delivered from. But you just got into another relationship and you kind of kicked me to the side. So who's ready to give God some alone time? To get what they actually need? Not going to say I'm going to go to church every single Sunday. I'm going to go to Bible study. But God, I'm actually giving you some alone time. I'm dedicated to you Monday through Sunday. I'm seeking your face. My face is in your word. I'm praying every single day. I'm fasting. God, I need to be closer to you. So who's ready for that? Be honest with yourself. Who's ready for that? So in the first chapter in the book of Ruth, Naomi had dealt with so much stuff that she was bitter. She got to the place in her life where she said, how she said in the scripture, I don't want to be called Naomi anymore. Naomi's name meant pleasant one. So back in the biblical days, names actually meant something. The people, the place, and the things actually meant something. So Naomi's name meant pleasant one. And Mara meant bitter. So she said, I'm not the pleasant one anymore. Call me Mara because I feel like I'm bitter because of all the hell that I am going through right now. I'm in a different space in my life. I'm in a different season. I'm not who you created me to be, God. Call me somebody else. She was so bitter that she didn't even want her daughter-in-law, Ruth, to travel back home with her. It was time to go back home. And she told Ruth, no, I'm okay, don't come. Now, mind you, Ruth was married to her son. And they had all passed away. family. So Ruth also could have been bitter, but she said, I don't have time to be bitter. I have to pull myself back together so I can help pull Naomi back together, because I know that if I can't pull her back together, she's not as strong as me right now, and she will break. She's going to break, so I don't have time to be bitter. When I was in my alone season, I didn't have time to cry about the relationship that I had lost. I was in a relationship for 3 years, and it took 3 years for the person that I was with to tell me that they've been lying about believing in God the whole 3 years. That could have crushed me. It could have broken me down, but I said, no, I need to pull myself back together, because it was for such a time as this one right here to be able to stand up in front of women and say, I'm going to help pull you up, because I don't desire for you to stay down. I don't want any one of you guys to break. I want you guys to rise up and be kingdom women. I didn't have time to be bitter the same way that Ruth did not have time to be bitter. But Naomi's mind was somewhere else, and she says, no, stay home. Don't come back with me. Stay exactly where you're at. And Ruth is like, I'm coming with you. Where you go, I'm going to go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Where you lay your head, I will lay my head. That's the type of friend that Ruth was. Her name meant great friend. She was that great friend. This event is your Ruth. Miss Deborah is your Ruth. She wants to add some etiquette value to your life. I'm your Ruth. I'm that friend that's not going to give up on you. I know you've seen it in my Instagram posts. I know you've heard it in the videos that I say that everybody else may have given up on you, but I'm not. I'm not saying it just to have it as a nice slogan. I'm saying it because I mean it. I just told you ladies that I sat here and I have not ate for 3 days, all because of you. I've been praying in advance. 3 months ago, I started praying and covering all 40 women that were going to be in attendance in this meeting, because I knew God was going to send you, but I had to make sure that you were covered. So understand, when I say that I am your Ruth, I'm not just saying it just to say it. I am that friend that's not going to give up on you. The things that God had to take me for, if he asked me to do it again, I would do it again just to be in a room of another set of 40 women that actually needs it. That's how hungry I am for what God has for me. I don't care about the things that my body has to be inflicted with. I don't care about the hell, the trials and tribulations that I have to go through, because I know it's not for me. I know it's for all of you. And I will do it again and over and over and over if I have to. If it means that you will be set free and that you will be delivered, if it means that you will be healed, if it means that your chains will be broken, if it means that your family will get back together, I promise you, I will do it over again. So I'm going to go back to the scripture. Ruth chapter 1, verse 19 through 21. It says, so the two of them continued on their journey. When they came to Bethlehem, the entire town was excited by their arrival. Is it really Naomi, the woman asked? So I want to pause and break down what's really going on if you guys are not familiar with the book of Ruth. So Elimelech was Ruth's husband. They had 2 sons. So what Elimelech did was he ended up taking his whole entire family to Moab. They were originally in Bethlehem, which was considered the house of bread. Moab was considered death. It was like the city of death. So you say, why would they run from something that's classified as the house of bread and go to a city that's classified as death? So we back up a little bit. During that time, the Israelites, they were not okay with an invisible king. They had all of these other kings and they died. And when it was time for God to actually lead them, they said, no, I'm straight. I don't want an invisible king. They wanted to actually have somebody in front of them that they could walk and see, and that they could look over their shoulders and say, there's a lion right there. I'm going to go the opposite way. They didn't want to have that blind faith. So what God did is he created a famine in Bethlehem. There was a shortage of everything. There was a stoppage of everything. Nothing was fruitful. Nothing was growing. There was no food. There was nothing. Because of disobedience, there was a famine. And I wonder how many of us, because of our disobedience, we are in a famine right now. We feel like everything has stopped growing. We feel like our finances has dried up. We feel like we cannot produce any type of fruit. And it may simply be because of our disobedience. So because of that rough season, Elimelech did not have enough faith to trust God through that rough season that he would see them through, and he actually ended up taking not only himself, not only his kids, but also his wife to a city where he died. Elimelech died, and also his 2 sons died, leaving Naomi totally alone. And understand that sometimes God has to have a man take you to a foreign land, get you out of your element, have you doing some things that you know you have no business doing, have you going some places where you know you should not be. As a foreigner in a land, God has to make sure that it happens just so that man can be removed from your life. God says, I'm making time for me. Whether you like it or not, he's going to leave because he's not the best that I have for you. I have a soulmate out there for you, but you keep trying to look at him, and he's not the one. And every time I try to remove him, you send that text. You follow him back on Instagram. You go search his page. You show up at his house. You're at his job. You're making yourself known to something that I'm trying to strip you of, so that I can give you what I have for you. Let me remove him. Naomi was alone. She only had herself and Ruth. And that when she had somebody else next to her, she still said, I'm alone. Not even seeing that she actually had her best thing connected to her Ruth. She didn't even know what God was getting ready to do in her life through Ruth. Somebody that she says, leave me alone, stay in your land. Ruth said, no, I'm coming with you, because I know the things that God has lined up for you. And you may have some people that's a part of your life that can actually see where God is trying to take you. Because you're so down and you're so broken, you can't see it yourself. But understand that God puts people in your life for a specific reason at a specific time to be able to pull you back up and say, I know where God is taking you. And that's what I'm saying to every single last woman in here. I know where God is taking you. I know the type of purpose that is in your life. I know the type of things that you are capable of doing as a woman. But first you have to actually want to be broken down in order to get it. You can't get what God has for you if you have a big head. You can't get what God has for you if you put yourself on a high horse. If you think you have all of this money and you think you have these red bottoms, this Versace bag, God cannot move through material items. He says, baby, I need for you to be empty so I can move through you. If you're not empty, those things will become your God, and you are leaving no room for me. It's time to make God your God. Stop idolizing things of this world because they are blocking the blessings that God has for you. Stop idolizing these men. You are blocking what God has for you. It's time to be stripped. It's time to let go of that fake ID and awaken the authentic woman that is inside of you, that is going to shake something up for the kingdom, that is going to put fear in the enemy's heart, that is going to make anybody that is up under them tremble, because they know that there's a kingdom woman that has the power and the strength that God has given her, and I'm scared of her. The devil says, I'm not going to mess with that one, because God has anointing over her life, and I believe it's all of you in this room, but you have to first want it. Back to the scripture. Verse 20, she says, don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara, for the Almighty has made life very bitter for me. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me home empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has caused me to suffer? When the Lord has caused me to suffer. When the Lord has caused me to suffer, and the Almighty has sent such tragedy upon me. She says, I went away full, but I came back home empty. I went away full, but I came back home empty. This was indicating that wherever Naomi was, it obviously was not her home. She went somewhere else, and now God is calling her to come back home, and she feels as if she's empty. When times get rough, we seek so much validation from this world, from these men, and what we actually end up doing is leaving the presence of God. We say, he looks good, he has a great job, he got money, he might have a charger. I don't know if y'all still up on chargers. That's what it used to be in Detroit. We got a charger. And we say, I'm going to go chase after him. We notice that we stop coming to church. We notice that instead of praying and spending time with God at night, we're on the phone with him. We used to write to God every single day, but now we're writing things down about this man. We're planning things before they even happen, and we're not even planning the things that God has given us. The visions that God told us that he needed for us to do, we're not writing those things down. We're writing our future with a man. So we get to the place to where there's no room for God. God has no room to move in your life. All of this money that you have, you think that it makes you somebody. You think of the things that you possess. You think because you have a nice car, a nice home, you think that it makes you somebody. You think that it gives you a type of title that you have always wanted. You think that when people see you, they really look at you and they see a boss. But really what they're looking at is somebody with a fake ID that don't even know who they were really created to be. They don't know the things that God has laid out over their lives. They don't know the promises that God has made for them. They focus more so on chasing a bag than chasing God. And understand that God will bring you back home empty every single time. If you don't want him to strip you away from the things, he will do it voluntarily. He'll let you know that these things that you have been idolizing means nothing. They're a part of this world, and God says, I'm calling you to set you apart from this world. But you still want to hold on to all of these things. It's time to let go. It's time to be stripped. It's time to put the fake ID away. It's time to trust God and really stay planted like that tree. Yes. How many of you really know what staying planted means? How many of you have really stayed planted? Let's be honest. I know I haven't. There's plenty of times where God told me to stay planted, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it for like a month. And then I end up right back where I was. But God says, now is the time to stay planted. Not be planted, not want to be planted, but stay planted. It's that word, stay planted. That's how you get your deliverance. You stay planted. That's how you get your breakthrough. You stay planted. That's how you get the things that God has for you. You stay planted. You stay in his word. You stay seeking his face. You stay praying every single night. You stay fellowshipping with other Christians. You stay going to Bible study. You stay going to church. Don't fall off the bandwagon, but stay planted like a tree by no matter what type of storms come our way. We will stand strong no matter what things come our way. As long as we stay planted, God will uphold you with a willing spirit to be able to do the type of things that he needs for you to do. Naomi was in Moab for 10 years until the famine was over. She wasn't there for a week. She wasn't there for a day. But she was actually there for 10 years. She had to suffer for 10 years. I know there's a lot of you in this room that are still suffering from things from your childhood. It's been 20 plus years. It's been 30 plus years. It's been 40 plus years. And you're still suffering the same way Naomi had to suffer. When she was returning back to Bethlehem, it was barley harvest season. This was a time where everything was fruitful. Where there was a time to be, where God's name was able to be celebrated. So mind you, she's in a famine for 10 years. There's no food or anything. And now it's time to go back and get the food. But because she was so bitter, she didn't even recognize what God was really doing in her life. She still said, I know it's barley harvest season, but I'm bitter. Still call me Mara. We miss the blessings that God has for us because we're so bitter. We can't even see what God is doing in our lives because we say, oh, woe is me. Why was I the one that had to get molested? Why was I the one that had to get raped? Why was I the one that had to end up in the clubs? Why was I the one that had to be promiscuous? Why was I the one, God? Why me? Not even knowing that God is trying to birth the testimony in you to help other women. He knows that you were strong enough to withstand the things that you went through in your childhood because he knows that the next lady is not strong enough. But he knew that if he can put this on you, that you would be able to take it and run with it and say, God, fix me. I'm going to still smile. But we're so bitter that we don't even notice them. Our minds won't even go to that stage of being a victorious woman, a virtuous woman, a phenomenal woman, a kingdom woman. We want to stay right being the type of woman that Naomi wanted to be, a bitter woman, a Mara. And just like Naomi, because when she was going back to home and it was barley harvest season and she couldn't see the things that God was doing for her, that was a key for us to understand that whatever God is doing in your life, how the scripture says, he will bring you back home empty. And this is why it is so important for us to really stay in our word, stay connected to God, stay planted like that tree, and stay listening to what God is trying to say. Because one, when we stay in our word and we stay having our relationship with God, our identity is found in Christ. Only him. Your identity, I'm sorry to tell you today, but your identity is not found in anything else. If you think you knew who you were when you walked through this door and you don't have Christ on your back, baby, you don't know who you are. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to stand up here and try to sugarcoat nothing and pump things. I'm going to be real with you because I want you to have everything that God has for you. So when we stay in that word, we're able to find our identity in Christ. Two, we're able to realize what God is saying. God is speaking to you, but are you able to hear him? Do you know his voice? Do you spend a lot of time with him that when he does say something to you that you know it's actually him? Or are you following the voice of the devil? Are you following the voice of the devil? The third thing that it does when we stay planted and we stay in his word is that it's able to teach us and show us the promises that God has over our lives. God's word says that he is not a man that he shall lie. God is not going to lie to you. If God promised you something, understand that it's yours. I don't care if it's going to take 20 or 15 years for you to get it. It's still yours. The visions that God has given you in this room, if he said, I'm going to give you a vision to do something for women, understand that it's still yours. You might see somebody else doing it, but they can't do it the way that you're going to do it because your stuff is orchestrated by God. I want you to understand that. So when we can understand those three different things, our identity in Christ, what God is saying to us, and the promises that he has already made, we are able to move around according to the will that God has for our lives. We are able to walk with our head held high and say, I'm going to readjust my crown because it may have fallen off, but I'm going to pick it back up and I'm going to readjust my crown and I'm going to walk boldly into the woman that God has called me to be. Can't nothing stop me. Can't no man stop me. Can't no friendship stop me. Can't no family member stop me because I'm walking into who God has called me to be. It's time to get there. I desire for all of you to get there. When we understand our identity in Christ, we can understand what our purpose is. There's no way for you to find your purpose if you don't know who you were created to be. It does you no justice for you to have your purpose and you not know how to use it. God kept telling me, your purpose is speaking to women. And I could be speaking to them, teaching them how to get rich. If I didn't know who God really created me to be, I would be teaching and speaking to them the things that God says. You're doing the total opposite of what I'm telling you to do. Because you don't know who you are, you're teaching women how to get a bag. You're teaching women how to have nice fitted clothes and how to get a man and how to do all of this. You're not actually speaking to them, empowering them. You're not using the hell and the turmoil that I had to put you through to help them. So if you don't know your identity in Christ, your purpose serves no purpose. It's time to get your identity in Christ. God says that he will reveal to you the promises that he has made to you. A man cannot do anything for us unless we first know who we were created to be and we have our own identity in Christ. Relationships and marriages will not fix you. They will leave you off worse than what you actually were sometimes. A man cannot reveal to you your purpose. He cannot show you the promises that God has over your life. He cannot heal those internal wounds that you have deep down inside because they're too deep for a human to even touch. But I know a man named Jesus that got up on the cross and died for me and said that I will be able to come inside of you. I will give you my Holy Spirit. no, you're stupid if you do, because then you're leaving me, and now I'm going to know that you're the reason why I'm going to know that you're the reason, that I'm the reason why you're gone. And now I'm here all by myself, right? You're not going to take a bullet for me, because if you hit your toe, you're going to say ouch the same way that I say ouch. If you get sick at work, you're going to call off of work the same way that I will call off of work. But the man that dragged the cross, that had his back all whipped up, that took the beatings, that put on the crown of thorns, that had himself nailed to a cross for you, that's the man that you need to start chasing after to be able to figure out what you really need in life. Because a man can't do nothing for you. A man cannot fix you. When I was broken, I could not go to him and say, fix me, for two reasons. It is his responsibility to cultivate me, which means it's his responsibility to fertilize me, which means it's his responsibility to add to what God is doing in my life. It is beyond his power to fix me. He cannot do that. His responsibility must be to cultivate me. And the second reason he couldn't do it is because he has not been around during some of the most rough seasons of my life. He will look at the pieces and say, rejection, I wasn't around for that. I'm not too sure where that goes. Perversion, I wasn't around for that. I'm not too sure where that goes. Deep dark sin, I wasn't around for that. I'm not too sure where it goes. Drunkenness, I wasn't around for that. I'm not too sure where it goes. But I was around for this small season, so I can put these pieces back together. But he's leaving everything, the most important pieces out. But the man named Jesus, the God that I serve, the one that said that he would never leave or forsake me, the one that when I drowned and I ever was, I should have died that day, the one that when 6 men with shotguns came and invaded our house and they could have shot me, but they handed me over to my mother, the God that when I was in the clubs and it was getting shot up, some reason I always ended by an exit door to make it out. The type of God that when I was driving home drunk, I still made it home. That's the type of God that I serve, and that's the type of God that I'm going to run to. He's the only one that can put you back together. He's the only one that can fix your broken pieces. He's the only one that can do that thing like nobody else can do. God is in this place. He's in this place. God is moving through me. It's not me. When I talk like that, understand that it's not me. God is giving you exactly what you need. We think that we can run to men and they will save us. If God would have sent me him and I would have idolized him, I would have broke him. A broken piece would have broke him. I would have started to look at him like he's the one that needs to fix me. I would have trained him. I would have been able to actually take the things that God has planted in him. I would have been able to take it away because I'm too needy. I would have been a liability, not an asset. The man that you are with, if God is telling you it, if he's told you before it's time to let him go, but you keep saying, no, God, not yet, that man will never be what you want him to be. He's not capable to be what you need him to be. He's not strong enough to be who you need him to be. God says, make room for me and I'm going to give you who I have for you. I'm saying it because I lived it. I'm not saying it because I read it. I lived it. And I know this to be true. It's time to let go of the things that God is telling you to let go. The things that you were in your bed last night praying to God for, that you wanted him to do during this event. God says, are you really actually ready to let him go? If I told you while you were sitting in that chair that God wanted you to let that relationship go, would you really do it? If God said that I want you to get rid of those material items, would you really do it? Would you trust God enough to say that I don't care how much it was, I'm going to throw it out because I know that I want it to be empty for you to move around in my life? If God says that I need you to cut that friendship off, will you really do it? Or will you go back and forth with God about it? Will you listen to what other people are saying and they'll keep you in bondage? What is God telling you to do? What is God speaking to your heart and speaking to your spirit that he needs for you to do? And that he needs for you to be obedient, because he does not want you to be in a famine. But trust me, he will make you go into a famine if he needs to. It's time to make room for a king that is going to make room for everything else that will line up in your life according to his will and his purpose for your life. It's time to change some things. You're not leaving here the same way that you came in. This wasn't going to be a nice event that we was going to take pictures and we was going to hold hands. No, you leaving here with some stuff. You leaving here with expectation to change. And God has an expectation for you to say the things that I started telling you while you were sitting in that chair and while she was up there on the stage speaking. I expect for you to go back home and actually act on it right now. Don't wait till the new year. Don't say, God, I'm going to do it for my New Year's resolution. God says, do it now, because tomorrow is not promised for you. So if you leave tomorrow, do you know where you're going? So make sure that you do it when I tell you to do it. Don't do it when you want to do it. Let my perfect will be done in your life, not your own. Lean not onto your own understanding, but lean onto the word of God that comes from him, that he speaks inside of you. Ruth's brokenness allowed for us to see three different things. She allowed for us to see that she was a woman of value, that she was a woman of excellence, and that she was a woman of commitment. So because Ruth left us with those three different things, those are the most important things for us to have, to really know who we were created to be. Once you find out your purpose, how I say, you must know who you are. You are a woman of value. You are a woman of excellence. You are a woman of commitment. So now it's time to take a look deeper into those three things, because you leaving here with something. I can promise you that. You're going to leave with the book and the pens, but you're going to leave with something pierced inside of your heart and your spirit that is going to change your life. And I'm not saying that just to say it because I know that God is going to do it. I'm saying it because God told me to say it. You leave it with something. So let's take a look at the very first thing. Ruth, she was a woman of value. So Ruth 3:11 tells us that she was a woman of noble character. Her dedication to Naomi actually led to the ongoing line of Jesus, allowing her to be connected to the birth of Christ. She was King David's great-grandmother. So she held some value not because of who she was, but more so what she did that God expected for her to do. She feared God's reaction to the decisions that she made. And I believe that if we can live our life on a daily basis, fearing God's reaction to the decisions that we make, it would allow for us to make decisions a little bit better. Amen. Would this upset God? Is this a part of God? Is this God or is this the enemy? If I do these things, am I pleasing God? If we can fear the reaction to our decisions through God, then we can actually live and have life. Not just live and be a body that's here, but actually live and have life. So Ruth was all of those things, but the first thing, the most important thing is she knew who she was. She knew that she had some value about herself, and she wasn't scared of anything. She told Naomi, your God will be my God. She knew that the God that she was following was a pagan God. And she said, I'm going to serve the one true God. So your God is going to be my God. Where you go, I will go. Where you lay, I will lay. She wasn't scared. Her own sister, when Naomi told them to stay, her own sister said, I'm going to stay. I fear of being talked about. I fear of being mistreated. I don't want to struggle. But Ruth says, I don't care about none of that. I don't care if I have to struggle. I don't care if things don't look sunny every single day. I don't care if I'm feeling like I'm at my last end. I'm going to still press through and do what God has called me to do. She was a woman of value. How many of us want to be women of value? Ruth knew that she was on a mission to do what God needed for her to do for Naomi. She knew that it had nothing to do with her. But she says, I know who I am and I know what God expects of me. And I believe that's our issue. Because we don't know who we are, we actually seek the world for validation. There's some people in this room that they can't do anything without the approval of somebody else first. If God tells you to do something, you go and tell somebody, hey, what do you think about if I do this? God already told you to do it. Why are you seeking validation from somebody that's in this world? So because we don't know who we are, we seek that validation and that praise from other people. We do it for the gram. We try to make sure we look good. We try to make it look like we a millionaire. Like we live in this lavish life. Like we live in our best life. We want to make sure that the caption don't just say that, but we're actually trying to live our best life. Yet God never said that you will receive praise from trying to please people. He said that you will receive praise by fearing the decisions that you make and my reactions to those type of decisions. That's the type of woman that God wants us to actually be. Why are we searching the world for certain things? Why are we seeking for validation in those things? Because we don't know who we are, right? We don't know that we are women of value. Do you not understand that you are like fine china? You are not plasticware. You're letting these men eat off of you and then throw you in the trash. You're not allowing him to say, let me polish this one up because something is rare about her. And then let me set her up here where nobody can easily assess her and be able to just go to her. But you say, no, I'm plasticware. You're not plasticware, you're fine china. You are rare. Do you not understand that fine china is in some of the museums as a showcase piece? Yes. God considers you a peculiar treasure. Do you not understand that? It's time out for not knowing your value. You must know your value. You have to tell a man you will not sleep with me unless you put a ring on this finger. I don't care how my hormones are. I don't care what my flesh desires. I'm going to make sure that I put myself not in any tempting situations, and I'm going to actually run away from the things that will tempt me to do what is not pleasing to God, baby, because I know I am fine china. I am worth the wait. I am worth the things that God has stored up inside of me, and so are every single last one of you. It's time to be fine china. When fine china breaks, people lose their minds because it is a very rare, expensive piece. When a plastic knife breaks in half, they're able to go to Walmart, they're able to go to Target, they can go to the Dollar Tree and get it. That is not you. And it's time out from labeling yourself as plasticware. It is time to be fine china. Put yourself up. Have some standards about yourself. Set some boundaries for yourself. Don't allow men to easily access you. You want to take me out on a date? You're going to have to work for this. You want to text me? I'm not going to text back. You're going to have to work for this. All a man got to say is hi to you, and you head over heels. Oh my God, he noticed me. You don't know your value. That's why. God is calling you higher. But you can't go higher if you're considered to stay down low. So I have some I'm sorry, the presence of God kind of took over. I was supposed to have her pass out these forms. So I'm going to have her pass these forms out because I have some affirmations that I actually want us to read out loud today. I'm really big on affirmations because I believe the things that we speak out into the atmosphere has to come back somewhere. So God gave me these affirmations to write down so that we would be able to, one, be together in sisterhood and be able to say it all together, but also for you to actually understand the type of value that you have. And I want to see the hands of the ladies, and I ask that this be a transparent moment. Who doesn't know their value as a woman? Who feels like they don't know what they're worth? The honesty that's in this room, those are the type of people that's going to get the breakthrough that God has for them. Because they don't care who looks at them as they raise their hand. Because it's some of you that don't know your value, but you were too afraid to raise your hand. Because you were more so focused on what somebody was going to say about you. So let's try it again. Who doesn't know their value and what they're really worth as a woman? I seen a little bit more hands. Thank you for being honest with yourself. Your spirit, it relies on your honesty. You need to be transparent. If you can't be transparent, then there's no way that you'll ever be who God has called you to really be. When I was that girl with the purple hair, I walked every single day being something that I was not. Every picture that I posted, you better believe that I was showing some red bottoms, that I was showing a Versace bag and a purse. that I was showing every expensive item that I could because I felt it made me look like a boss. But when I went home at night and I took up all of that stuff, I was still down on my knees crying to God. God, I don't know who I am. I'm empty. And I would get right back up in the morning and put it all on and put on this fake smile and walk throughout the world. Everybody thought I was fine. People said, your goal is I want to be like you. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, if you only know what I'm suffering, what I'm going through when I get back at home, you don't want to be like me. I don't want you to be like me. But because I wasn't honest with myself, I said, yes, you can be like this one day. All you have to do is do this and you can get some money and do all this other stuff. I wasn't honest with myself. I should have told them, I really don't know who I am. This is a cover-up. This is my fake ID. I wish I knew who I was. I wish I was in a place where you were that even want to jump into being who you know that you should be. But because I'm not transparent enough, I'm killing myself every single day. I'm killing what God has inside of me every single day. So I believe all of you have your papers. So we're going to read the affirmation of being a woman of value. So we will tell ourselves, I do have value. You ladies are reading with me. We're putting this out in the atmosphere. So we will tell ourselves, I do have value. I am worth more than rubies. I know God created me for such a time as this one. I refuse to give up. I will keep pressing forward no matter what foreign land I have to enter into. Because I know that greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. I am a woman of value. Give yourself a round of applause. So the second thing that Ruth allowed for us to see, that she was a woman of excellence. Excellence is not having a big fancy house, a nice car, a big fat bank account. That's considered success. And a true woman of God knows the difference between success and excellence. Excellence is doing the most with what you already have. The little that you have, God has said you are doing the most with it. To be successful is to have your success dictated by the world. The world says that you are only successful when you get to a certain level. If you don't have a certain amount of money, then you're not considered successful. You can't go to different events because you're not able to get in because you're not successful enough. When Ruth was going back to Bethlehem, she didn't have anything. She didn't have any money. She didn't have a car. She probably didn't have a lot of clothes. She really didn't even know where she was going to really lay her head at. But she says, I'm going to be a woman of pure excellence and do the most with what I already have. I don't care if I don't have these things. I have the things that God has given me. We have to get to a point to where we don't care. And we would do the most with what God has for us to do the most with. She knew that in order to provide and survive, I need to make the most out of what I have. There's probably some people in this room that actually know what rubbing two nickels together means. There's probably some people in this room that has never had to rub two nickels together. Consider yourself blessed, because some of us that had to boil some water and heat up some water in the microwave just to take a bath, that didn't know how we were going to get to our work or our school, that didn't know what type of food we were going to eat, that we had to eat TV dinners every single night, that when the heat was off, that we would have to sit there and layer covers on top of us. Some of us know what rubbing two pennies and nickels together actually means. And that was when we were being a woman of pure excellence. That means that we were doing the most of what we already have. We wasn't going to cry about it. We wasn't going to nag about it. But we said, God, how can I fix this? I don't got no water, but I got a microwave. And I'm going to heat it up. And I'm going to still make sure that I smell good. I'm going to still make sure that I put my clothes on. And nobody will ever know that I cannot take a shower with some hot water. But I am a woman of pure excellence. It's time to get there. Ruth didn't have to be successful to be married to Boaz. She didn't have to be successful to go from overlooked to one of the most remarkable women in Scripture. All she had to do was be a woman of pure excellence and say, God, I trust you enough. What you have given me is okay. If you don't ever give me anything, God, you have given me enough, because you're giving me life every single day to live. make sure that I am breathing. I am taking the smallest things for granted. Some people can't even get up and go to the bathroom. Some people don't even have a bed to lay down in. Some people can't breathe. They're on a breathing machine. And yet we're complaining about the small things that's in our life when God brings life into us every single day. We will start doing the most with the little that we do have in order to even get the most that we want to have. God ain't going to give you more if he sees that you're not already taking care of what he is. Why is your home a mess? Why are you leaving this event going back to your home and your bed is not made? Why is there dishes in your sink? Yet you want God to send you a man. You're not even wife material. Come on, let's be honest. I had to get there. I had to get myself together. I had to say, I'm not doing laundry every single week. I'm not vacuuming my floor every single day. I'm not doing my dishes every single day. But God, I want you to send me a husband. And God, I want him to be able to love me the way that you love me. And then God, we move in together. If he asks for some soap, I'm going to be like, oh, we don't have it anymore because I didn't prepare myself to actually be a wife. When we move in together and he said that, can I get some more paper towel? I'm going to say, oh, I don't have any of that. I don't know anything about that. Start getting yourself together in preparation of what's to come. Amen. If you want something good, start making yourself something good. You want another car, but your car is messy. Every single time you get in, there's french fries still on the floor. There's a bag of Doritos in your back seat. Why? The vacuum is only 25 cents. But you got on a Versace bag. But you got on some nice shoes. Your hair laid. Your bundles is expensive. But your priorities is not in order. Your debt is collecting time after time. But you working overtime to go get a Chanel bag. Your priorities is not in order. You need to start getting your priorities in order. Do the most with what you already have. And watch God pour you out a blessing that you have no room to receive anymore of the overflow that he is going to create in your life. The word says it, not me. If you don't believe me, then believe the word of God. Because he will do it. Only if you want him to do it. We don't have to sit around and wait for everything to be exactly how we need it to be in order to be a woman of pure excellence. If God has told you to write that book, and then you tell God, I don't have a computer and I don't have the resources. But God says that you have a paper and you have a pen and you have an open line of communication with me to figure out what I need for you to really say. Start asking my Holy Spirit to take a hold of the pen and allow the words to just flow. God, I want to feed the homeless, but I don't have any extra money to prepare a meal. But you have a vehicle that your gas tank is on full that you can go up to your local food pantry and feed the homeless. Start doing the most with what you have. Start actually analyzing your life and start to actually see, what can I actually do with what I do have? Am I making too many excuses for God for the things that I don't have, that I can't even realize the stuff that I actually do have? Open your eyes. Take the blindfolds off. It's time to see clearly. We want to be married so bad. But are we sitting around just waiting for the time to go to be married? Or are we maximizing every single second that we actually have? Are you working on yourself as a woman? Are you getting your debt in order? Are you pushing and striving to be a woman of value and excellence? Or are you saying, I'm going to just sit here and wait for a man to come save me? He's never coming. But I tell you who is coming. Jesus is coming back. And you better get yourself together before he comes back. Are you going to work every single day and says, I can't stand this job. I want to punch in and I want to punch out. Or are you saying, I want to make the most out of the time that I have. I'm going to make sure I make at least one person's day today. Because that one person can be going through some real hell that they're going to go home and they're going to commit suicide. But because you decided to do the most with your time, you were able to save a soul for God. It's time to be a woman of excellence. When I didn't know who I was, I hopped from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. Because I thought the relationship would save me. I I dealt with a lot of rejection growing up. My family may have not noticed it, but I felt rejected almost every single day. I didn't get the type of love that I knew that I had wanted. And so because I didn't, I started to seek that type of love from men. It caused me to be in multiple beds. Let's be honest. It caused me to be in type of relationships that I know I had no business being in. It caused me to be in a relationship with a man putting his hands on me, and then I still went right back to him. I didn't know who I was, and I was trying to fill some holes with what men had to offer. I didn't understand that God considered me as a peculiar treasure. I didn't understand that I was to do the most with the little that I had. I thought I had to do more. I thought that I needed more, when really all I really needed was some alone time with God to figure out, who am I? Can you put these broken pieces back together, God? You are the creator of my life, and there's nobody that knows these puzzle pieces better than you. So I need for you to put me back together, wrap me in your arms, keep me isolated so that nobody else can even have contact with me, because I'm going through some stuff right now that only you will be able to see me out of. God, I need for you to create a new work in me. Make me over. I had to get real with myself. I had multiple opportunities to be in an alone season, but I chose not to. Why? Because I didn't want to be lonely. Not knowing that if you have God on your side, there is no way that you will ever be lonely. If God is not enough for you, no man will ever be enough for you, because no man can live up to the things that God can do for you. So when you try to replace a man, when you try to replace God with a man, it's never going to work out for you. It's time to be a woman of excellence. So now we're going to read the Woman of Excellence affirmations together, because y'all ready to be women of excellence, right? Yes. So we will tell ourselves, I will not focus on being a successful woman, but instead a woman of pure excellence. We on excellence. Y'all don't say that? Well, y'all go ahead and read it to me. I want to make y'all.
What successful looks like to this world. I will not be so caught up on material items, because my value as a woman doesn't come from those things. I instead will be wise about my money and time, and do the most with what God has already given me. I will strive to be a woman of pure excellence, because I know that I cannot take successes with me when I leave this earth. But I can ensure that God will say how excellent I was in all that He put me in charge of. I will not live for people's praise more than I live for God's, and I refuse to make the world my standard, because I know my value. I will do all that God has told me to do for my life. I am a woman of excellence.
Give yourself a round of applause. Those words that you just read, they actually hold some weight. So I expect for you guys not to just read them here at this event. If you have to read them every single day when you leave, read them every single day to make sure that you stay planted like that tree, and that you remember that you are a woman of value, a woman of excellence, and a woman of commitment. The last thing that Ruth showed us is that she was a woman of commitment. She didn't care about anything. She said that I will do whatever I need to do, and I'm going to make sure that I stay committed to doing it. She says that nothing can shake me, nothing can destroy me, nothing can take me off of the path and the journey that God has told me to go on. I will be committed to the things that God is telling me to do. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it and I'm going to give it a month and then I'm going to switch. I'm going to actually be committed to doing it. Ruth was considered poor. She had nothing. She had to go back to Bethlehem and actually glean, which means that she had to collect the things that was left over for the poor. But in order for her to even collect those things, she had to first get low. When you glean, you have to get low. I want to show you, give you a visual of what Ruth probably had to do. She said that I have to get low. I don't care who's looking at me. I I know the type of God that I serve. Amen. I don't care how dirty this floor is. I don't care the type of stares that I'm going to get. I don't care the type of things that people will say about me. I'm going to humble myself up under God's divine authority based on his divine word. And then that's when the power of God is going to be released in me to be free from the things that I am in bondage of. I need to glean, which means I need to collect piece by piece. But I have to be low enough to collect piece by piece. I cannot collect from up here. I must humble myself and get so low. The woman with the issue of blood said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, but she had to first be low enough to even touch it. She couldn't touch it when she was standing up high.
Yes. Yes.
So I want to ask if you guys will humble yourselves. If you don't care what type of dress you have on, I ask that you get down on this dirty floor and I ask that you start to worship God like you've never worshiped him before. Humbling yourselves means that I don't care what type of dress I have on. I want to get down on this floor. If it means that my healing is down there, I'm getting down there. If it means that my deliverance is down there, I'm getting down there. So I want all of y'all, if you are able to, humble yourself before God's throne and humble yourself and get all that God has asked for you to get. I want you to release a praise like you've never released a praise before for God right now. I want you to start asking that he do the things that you need to do within your life. I ask that you start to ask him to remove the bondage, to remove the ties, to just allow for you to break through right now. Give God a supernatural worship and praise right now. Don't allow for it to be mediocre. We don't serve a mediocre God. I know God can do exceedingly and abundantly above all that I can ask. I declare that you will be delivered on today if you give him that authentic praise that you know that he is worthy of giving.
Yes, Father. Yes, Lord Jesus. Yes, Father.
God, you are so worthy right now. God, we love you right now, God. We invite you to move like a strong force in this room right now, God. I ask that you open up our hearts, oh God. That you pour out a blessing, God. God, I ask that you begin to really shape and mold us. That you begin right now where we are, God. That you begin to pull out everything that is not like you, Lord God. I ask that you pull out the demonic tax, Lord God. I ask that you pull out the things that don't look like you, God. God, I ask that you begin to pull out the things from our childhood, God. God, I ask that you open us up to something supernatural, God. God, I ask that we get a praise and we get a breakthrough like never before right now, oh God. God, I know that you are worthy. God, I know that I am broken. God, I know that I need healing. God, I know that I need you, God. And I am not ashamed right now to cry out before you, God, and ask for you to do that thing that you do, oh God. God, these women need you. They need you, God. They are low, God. They are just like that woman said that they can just touch the hem of your son's garment, God. I ask that them humbling themselves and that they are crawling before you, God. I ask that it does not go in vain, God. I ask that you open them up right now, God. Meet them where they are right now, God. They need you, Lord. Their life is depending on what you would do for them at this event, oh God. God, I ask that you begin to heal every single scar. I ask that you begin to remove the soul ties. I ask that you begin to do what you need to do in our lives, oh God. I ask that the past hurt from our childhood, God, that you remove it, God. If we had to be homeless, if we had to be raped, if we had to be molested, if we had to be made fun of, God, I ask that you remove the memory right now, God, and allow for us to shift it, to create and birth an amazing testimony from it. They need you, God. They need you, God. They need you, God. They need you, God. souls right now, God. Pour into it what we need, God. The places that we are envy, God, I declare that we would no longer search the world for, God. That we would start to seek your throne, God. That we start to seek your face, oh God. Start to fill us up, God. The one that has never prayed to you, the one that has never shouted out to you. God, I ask that you just begin to move in her life right now, God. As she is below right now, so low to this ground, God, I ask that you give her a worship that is authentic, God. That she will praise you like she has never praised you before, oh God. That she will worship you like she has never worshipped you before, oh God. God, I ask that you do it right now for her, God. I ask that you meet the one right now, God, where she is, God. That her finances have dried up, God, and she has no idea where her next meal is going to come from. God, I ask that you allow your Holy Spirit to guide her to what she needs, God. Send a help person for her right now, God. I ask that you send help, God. Send it in the mail, God. Send it through a person, God. Send her the help that she needs, God. The woman that is in bondage in this room, God. I ask that you begin to untie the ties, God. Unloose the ropes, oh God, right now. Set her free, God. The enemy can't have that one no longer. It's time to let that one go. She needs to soar like an eagle. She needs to have her wings ready to fly above all that God is calling her to do. It is time to be set free. God, I ask that those that you have implanted testimonies in, that they leave here and they be bold enough to share your gospel, Lord God, to share their testimony, not only to one, not only to two, but to an entire nation, God. Meet us where we are right now, God. Meet us where we are right now, God. Have your way in this room right now, God. Have your way in this room right now, God. Lord, we worship you. We adore you. We love you. We're not going to let you down any longer, God. We promise that from this day forward, God, we will give it our best. We will do the most with the things that you have already given us to do with, God. We release the fake IDs that are in this room right now. I ask that the authentic woman that you have created be released, God. Anything that is covering us up, oh God, I ask that it is removed right now, Jesus. Meet them, oh God, where they are right now, God. Have your way, God. Open us up and search us, God. Open us up and search us, God. Some of us are thinking about killing ourselves, oh God. We're thinking about committing suicide, oh God. The very life that you have given us, we want to take it away, God. God, I ask that we put to an end today, that we will live, God, that we will have everlasting life, not only in this world, God, but also in your presence, God. Depression is set free, God. That it is lifted up off of her right now. She will no longer be depressed. She will have joy, God. I know that you can do it. I know what you're capable of, God. I know that you are a healer because you have healed me. You have healed me in the supernatural. So I'm asking right now, God, the ones that need healing in their body, the ones that have sickness, God, that they will go back to the doctors and get an amazing doctor's report. I have no idea, ma'am or sir, how this is going on, but I do want to let you know that you are no longer healed, that you are no longer sick, that you have miraculously been healed. And I know that Jesus is the only one that can do it. So God, I ask that you begin to heal in this building right now. Touch our minds. Touch our hearts. spirits and our souls, oh God. That you ladies stay exactly where you are. Stay down low right here, right now. I want you to keep worshiping and praising. I want you to pray for the things that you know that you need, the things that you came in expectation of to get from this event. I want you to stay right where you are and do it. There's no time limit. I know that they said that we had to leave at 4, but we need just a little while longer, God. God, I praise like never before.